Hello and welcome. We will be starting shortly. Hello and welcome to Oklahoma Public Library's tutorial on Libby. My name is Katie and I am the Adult Services Librarian at the Oklahoma Public Library. And thank you for joining. I apologize for the delay. I had some technical difficulties with Facebook. I decided I wanted to have some more coffee this morning. So I will get started for you so we can get you started in reading and enjoying some ebooks and audiobooks on your devices or even on the website. So you might be wondering, what is Libby? Well, Libby is a leading service of ebooks and e-audiobooks that allows readers to borrow from the Wisconsin Digital Consortium, Digital Library. And they have thousands of materials available, and we share these materials with the entire state of Wisconsin. And you can access all of these with your library card. And you can use any type of device. You can even use your computer. You can use an iProduct, such as an iPhone, iPad. You can use Android devices, such as a Samsung, an Apple type of phone. There's just so many different devices you can use. You can even use like a Kindle e-reader as well. So you might be wondering, what are some pros and cons of using Libby? Well, when you travel and you try to take multiple books with you, it's kind of hard to take a lot when they take up precious space in your suitcases. I know I had that problem. But with Libby, you can pack a lot more books in a small e-reading device or even on your phone. It takes up a whole lot less space, and it's free. Granted, going to the library is free too, but it's free on your device. It is capable of communicating between your devices. You can borrow up to 10 books at a time. It is more user-friendly than Overdrive, and there's a lot less steps involved in Overdrive as well. Libby is actually associated with Overdrive. The full title of Libby is Libby by Overdrive. It's actually the newest version of Overdrive. There are also audiobooks that are also available too. So if you prefer reading your books by audio, there's also that option. Items are automatically returned for you, so no more fines, trying to worry about getting to the library to return them. They get automatically returned to you. It's an app, or you can use it on the web. How great is that? But what about some cons? Well, you do need an app to read it. It does require internet and data to download. If you're one that needs to feel the physical book or audio book, the headphones in your, like the case of the audiobook, putting the CD into your car, or putting the CD into your Walkman CD player, is no longer physical. It's on your device again. It's on your phone. It's on your iPad. It's on your Kindle. So that's no longer there. You can have up to 10 books checked out to you at a time, and you can have up to 10 items on hold. The lending period is shorter, but you have the ability to choose how long you want it checked out. You can do 7, 14, or 21 days for ebooks, and audio books, e-audiobooks, are 7 or 14 days. And devices do need to be recharged, unfortunately. Sorry, they haven't quite figured out how to get those devices to stay charged all the time. Maybe one day. So you might be wondering now, how do I get Libby? Well, it's obvious. We need something to put it on. So either you need a device of some sort or a computer. You need to download the app. So you would need to go, if you have an iPhone, iPad, or an iComputer like a Mac, you need to head over to the App Store, the Apple App Store, and download Meet Libby. So I have the icon up here on the top right-hand side of the slide here. So it's a big red circle with a girl with red hair reading a blue book. And then you're going to go to the Google Play Store if you have an Android type of device. Again, you're going to look for Meet Libby, download that app. Again, it's free, so you don't have to pay for it. And keep in mind, whenever you download an app, you are going to need your login information for downloading apps, especially, I know, as an Apple user, you need your login information for Apple ID there. And I'm assuming for Google Android users, you might need login information for there too. The other thing you're going to need is a library card. So if you don't have a library card yet, you might want to head on over to infosoup.org and request one. Right now you can get one. Our library is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 5, that you can stop in and get one now. If you don't have a PIN or a password on it yet, you need to get one on there too, because you're going to need a PIN to set up your Libby account as well. You don't need a rush right now to get it, but we can certainly help you. If you just need your PIN password set up, we can certainly do that over the phone for you as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the website, because it looks exactly the same thing as on an iPad or on a phone. So we're going to go to the website www.libbyapp. So Libby is LIBBYAPP.com. So I'm just going to switch over to the website here. So this is libbyapp.com, and this is part of Wisconsin's digital library here. All right. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add a library card. So I'm going to go over in this corner here. This is Libby. So it's going to be on the top right-hand corner. So you just see the top of her head and a little piece of her hair piece. Okay, I'm going to click on her. And then usually we'll have some information. This information here is from earlier. I was in my account and I removed my information. So I'm re-adding a different card right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to your libraries. And I'm going to add a library card. So I have a message that has popped up. Let's take a moment to sign into Wisconsin Public Library Consortium account. Well, what if I'm not in this? So I want to go back to a different one. So choose another location. I'm not sure. Well, these are all the different libraries. So you're going to notice, if you're looking, that there's a lot of different libraries. So if you're an Algoma resident, and if you go to type in Algoma Public Library, it's not going to show up. So if you notice on your library card, it says InfoSoup. You're basically going to put in your library as InfoSoup libraries. And when you put in InfoSoup, it's going to show up for our location for Algoma. It would bring up as InfoSoup Libraries, 406 Fremont Street, Algoma, Wisconsin 54201. So it would show our address, but it wouldn't say Algoma Public Library. And then underneath, it would actually give you an option of 40 some other library locations. Okay. So now it's asking me to put in a card number. And it's asking for the card number that's printed on the library card. So I'm actually going to use a card number that belongs to one of my book clubs. Okay, so I'm going to type it in. Do, 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 do. Okay. Alright. Alright. See if I put it in right. I put my password in. Oh, I put my password in wrong. Silly me. Double check my barcode number. Okay. Okay. Now my card is now attached to my account. So I'm going to hide this bar here. So now she is sitting over here. And now I have set up my account right here. Now this is everything that's in here. But there's a couple of preferences I want to show you. So some preferences are filters that you can choose from. And there's a couple key ones that I want to show you. So format are going to be how you want to read your books. You can, if you're a book reader, you would choose books. If you're an audiobook reader, you would choose books. If you would read anything, any format, you would leave it as any. Language, if you're multilingual, leave it as any or pick a language. Well, I unfortunately can only understand it in English. Learning Spanish, but I'm going to leave it in English. Audience, you can choose different ways of what kind of literature you want to read. So juvenile would be children's fiction. I believe there's some picture books in here. Young adults, so that would be like Harry Potter would be in there. General content, mature content. So I'm going to just leave it as all. Compatibility. So this is how you would want to read it. So Libby would be the app that we downloaded. Kindle. So Kindle is usually through Amazon, has the Kindle app, but it does work where you can still read through Kindle. So if you have the Kindle app, it will send it through Kindle and read it. I can actually, once my items are downloaded in Libby, I can turn off my Wi-Fi and read my books off Wi-Fi. I just need to have my Wi-Fi on to search in Wisconsin Public Library Consortium and the Wisconsin Digital Library. So that's what I do. I usually leave it in Libby. Occasionally it will be in Kindle. Adobe compatible e-reader is another way of doing it. It's just a different format. Most books and e-audiobooks are going to be all three. So it depends on how you want to read it. It's up to you. Availability. Everything would be everything that's available now or items that have a wait list. And I will show you a couple examples of what is available, what would happen. Sort by. This would be relevance if you were doing it by search terms, popularity, if it's like a popular book, date added. So they do add new books periodically. Release date, author, title. So I usually use mine as default. And then of course you always want to apply your settings or your preferences. So I'm going to apply mine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for a book. So up on the left-hand side of my screen is a magnifying glass with the words search for a book right up in here where my cursor is. This is your search bar. So I'm going to look for an author. I'm going to do Danielle Steel. She's pretty popular. She always has a lot of books. Let's see what will populate for us. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of options here with Danielle Steel. And I'll go through and I'll talk you through a couple of them. So I'm going to go right here. There's a couple different things here. So we'll look at You Can't Paul first, and then we'll look at Accidental Heroes. So if we click on the title, the picture of the book, as we can see, we get an abstract about the book, like what would be on the back of the book. We have information on the left hand of the screen. It tells us the format. So this is a book, the author, the publisher. We have the release date, how many copies are available. The content is general content for the audience, and it supports Libby, Kindle, Adobe Compatible Reader, and they have ratings already here. So the other thing is underneath the picture of the book, it tells you to place hold, read sample, or tag, and then a wait time. And it has a little calendar. This is telling you that if you would place a hold on the title, it should be ready for you to borrow in the next few days. So it says place hold, and there's 0 of 26 copies. That means in the world of the library, if it was a physical copy, all the copies are currently checked out, and then until someone returns the digital copy, you would be the next one to get it. So we're going to place a hold. I'm going to show you what happens. So this is the library card that we put on hold here. Okay. So this is the book title. This is showing how many loans, how many holds are going to be on that card. I'm going to place a hold. Okay. And then below it says I can either cancel the hold or suspend hold, keep browsing, or go to my shelf. So I'm going to keep browsing. All right. So I put one on hold. I'm going to go back to Danielle Steel. So up at the left-hand corner, I'm going back. So now I'm going to go into Accidental Heroes. Now, again, on the left-hand side, I have the same information. It supports Libby, Kindle, Adobe Compatible e-reader. But now this time it's showing that for the copies, there's 7 of 34 copies available. So this time, underneath the picture of the book cover, it's telling me I can borrow it right away, besides read the sample. So if I click borrow, now underneath the title of the book, 21 days is underlined. If I click that number, watch what happens. I can choose right here how many days I want to check out this book for. You can have it for 7 days, 14 days, or 21 days. Remember, online reading, we only get them for max 21 days. If we would want to renew them, we can only renew them about 2 to 3 days before due date, if there are no other people in line for them. So I'm going to place this one on hold. I'm going to request it, because then I'm going to show you how I can open it. So I'm going to open my book. So now it tells me I can open book, keep browsing, or I can go to my shelf. So I'm going to open my book here. So I asked it to open my book. Now it's asking me I can do Kindle, apps and devices, or Libby, this app. I'm going to do Libby, this app. All right. So it's going to open it up for me. So it's thinking it's downloading it onto the website for me. So if these buttons down here, there's 2 buttons. There's library and there's shelf. Library would take me back to Wisconsin Digital Library. So that would be where I would go search and request more items. Oh, look at this. Now I'm going back into my book. All right. It's going to continue to download for me. All right. Excited to look at Danielle Steel. All right. Let's see. Accidental Heroes. So all I'm doing in here is just clicking left and right on my screen to turn the page. So up on the top here, I have a couple buttons. This first button here does one column or two columns. The next button looks like a magnifying glass, and it allows me to search within the book. I'm going to hide that one again. The third button, the letter A, is a text scale. So it allows me to make words bigger. Okay. So there's different ways that you can change the font in here. If you're done with that, you can hide. The fourth icon is the bookmarks and highlights. So to place a bookmark, we're going to tap the top right corner of the page, and then to create a highlight, we tap and hold a word and then swipe left or right. So let's go into a page and try it out for you. Went the wrong way. I'm going this way. Come back. Oh, right. See, I highlighted it right here. And I just bookmarked it up here. You see the bookmark reading here? Right in this corner. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. So, and I can also, if I'm in this screen, I can bookmark it right here. So, right down on this page here, it shows a percentage of how much is done in the book. Chapters would also let me skip ahead or go back as well. Back will let me go back. So this page is my shelf. I can see my loans. This is what's on my shelf. Go back a page. My holds. So this is my hold I just put on hold. The Danielle Steel is telling me it's available soon. I can manage my hold. So if I click this button right here, the square with the yellow and the blue, it's telling me it was placed today. I can suspend the hold. So basically I'm freezing it, or I can cancel it. Go back. Tags. Oh, there must be nothing in tags yet. So that would be tags that I would put on any of the books I read. So let's go back to our library and look at some other ways that we can navigate through. So I'm going to go back to the very beginning, our home screen. So there are Lucky Day collections here. So these are books that are popular that are available today. They are 7-day loans for books. Audiobooks are 14-day lending, and there are over 2,000 titles available for you. You can also check out what's new in books and audiobooks. See what's popular in both books and audiobooks. You could always check out what's popular in the Proud section. So current events, what's going on in the world, they have highlighted in here as well. So June is Pride Month, so they have books on Pride Month right now. They have books in anti-racism reading list up right now. Then they have books grouped by subjects too. So if you're like a mystery reader, you can click on here. Get it to load up for you. So, and again, if it says place hold, there's a wait list, and sometimes on this calendar, it'll kind of give you an estimate of how long it will take. If it says borrow on the top line, towards the top of the book, that means it's available today, that you can start reading. But you can always read a sample of every book. It's the same thing. If it is an audiobook, it will have a little icon below it of little earbuds, headphones, and it will say audio below it. So like this book right here, this Michael Conley, fair warning, looks like it's got a long wait list right now. It must be pretty popular. It looks like it just came out end of May, but there are only 12 copies in the system right now, and there's quite a few holds on each copy. So it's saying there's a 6-month waiting period, but sometimes it goes quicker. And I can show you how you can actually return your holds quicker, and that will actually make it nicer for other people that actually want to read books. So we had checked out Accidental Heroes by Danielle Steel. So say we have already read all of Accidental Heroes, and I'm ready to read my next book, or I found another one. So I want to return early. So that means all the other ones are now on hold for other people, and I'm done with it. I don't want to wait the rest of my loan period for it. I'm going to return it early. So it's going to pop up to this page again. It looks very familiar to our checkout screen. So it's again going to show us our library card number. It's going to show us the book that we're returning. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click return. And it's now been returned. So if I go back to my shelf, it's been returned. And what's great about Libby, it actually shows your recent returns. And it will tell you when you returned it. And then you can always go and find your next read. Just check on library and start looking around. Again, we can look by down in here by explore more subjects towards the bottom of the screen. We can look down in these different categories that they have. They usually have different subject headings here, and then they'll have different titles displayed. They'll have what's new, what's popular, what's available. They'll have a lucky day collection up on top. You can just do a random explore. You can always search by author. You can search by title. There are just so many different ways to look for a new book. And sometimes just stumbling on something that looks good is great. And even if you go down further, there's more titles to look for. So these are the just added titles right here. Always available audiobooks. Award-worthy. No wait books. Case of the Checked Out Mystery. That sounds like fun. There's just so much you can look for in here. There's a lot here. So if you have any other questions, feel free to contact us. Several of the librarians here do use Libby. And if you wanted to come in for some one-on help with Libby, feel free to come on in. Bring your device with you, though, and we will be happy to assist you with setting it up. and we look forward to helping you. Remember, you do need a PIN and password and a library card, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you and have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining us.